personage behind me is my husband, Jack D. Stewart. Now, some of you might be wondering how he can be my husband when he has a different name, a different second name. And the answer is because I was once intent on being an actress. And I had gone some of the way towards establishing myself. They all knew, all 347 residents of Black Falls, Kansas, they knew I was going to be an actress. In fact, they were more intent on me being discovered than even I was. The day I left, that day they hung up a sign across the street saying, Mavis O'Reilly. And they brought me flowers, and the pastor, the Reverend John G. Gumption, he gave a speech about how I was going off into the big wide world and how I was taking my chastity and all the love of the town with me. And sometimes in the middle of the night, I still remember that feeling, and I cuddle up to my husband. I love him more than any living thing. Now, I am not young. Isn't that a stupid thing to say? What I really mean to say is, I have lost my looks. When I was younger, I had this long dark hair that curled under my chin, and I had these eyes that were slight and bright, and I had the most perfect skin. The Reverend John G. Gumption said the application of makeup would have ruined my skin, and so did my husband, don't you, Jack? So it would have been a shame to waste it. So I went and I did what any actor or actress should do. I went to Hollywood. Little Mavis, small, insignificant Mavis, midget Mavis with a hook in her mouth. But my husband liked that look, and I did too. It made me unique. The casting directors didn't like it though. They didn't know shit. Some of the girls looked taller than me as well. But I went to audition after audition. I sang my song, and I got to know all the casting directors, and they'd say hello, and I'd tell them how I could do all the songs and different accents, and they'd say, thank you very much, that was lovely. And then they'd let me go with a flicker of hope in my heart, and then gradually that flicker would fade until a week had gone by, and by the time they called, that flame had gone out. But I kept at it. I did. And then it got difficult. But I thought, no, I am not stupid. I shall persevere. And I did. I did what all the actors and actresses do. I went and worked in a place where I'd serve food and drink to folks all like you. And you know what? Sometimes we got on, you and I. We had our fun. But other times, there were times when if it hadn't been for the security camera, that burger would have ended up on your lap. And that beer would have ended up over your head. And I would have hightailed it out of there. But I stuck at it because I knew that job would allow me to keep getting in line. In line with all the other actors and actresses from far-flung places. But eventually it wore me down. I started to get sick. That is not how it is supposed to be. But my mama wrote me regular and I wrote back to her regular. I told her all about how I was doing and how well I was doing and how the casting directors had loved me. But soon it got to be that I was just going to auditions because the wind blow through my hair, and I don't know what I felt. And as I looked across the water, I saw this man, and he was tall, and he wore these trousers and a white shirt and a handsome face and this beautiful Stetson on his head. And he nodded at me. You know what I did? I nodded right back. And then I felt a little unholy because who knows who he was. But he came across that bridge and stood on my side. And he came up to me and he said 4 words. He said, "Your mama loves you." "My mama," I said. "You do not know my mama." And he said, "No, I do not know your mama, but I know your mama loves you. And when you have a mama's love, then that's all you need." You know what I did next? I asked him to sit right down next to me. I thought he was a philosopher, or since this was Hollywood, I thought he was a writer. But he turned out to be a traveling man. A little of his philosophy rubbed off on me that day. I think I fell in love with him right at that moment. And then when my mama died, he was right there with me. And he gently cut the ties to her and laid them on her chest. He invited me out to dinner the next day, and I went with him, and he took me away. Now, our little Sean, he's out in the world. When he was born, Jack helped bind those ties to us and let him go out into the world to be what he wanted to be. Now, Sean, he lives in California in one of those caravans, I think you call them, and he has a best friend called Dewey. He is living the kind of life that he wants to live. Now, I have not lived the kind of life that I thought I would, and neither might you. But if you find a creation that frees you and gives you strength and lets you give more than you have been given, then you will live the kind of life you were meant to. See, I call mine Jack. What do you call yours? Today it went really well. The reaction was lovely. There was an older lady who was smiling the whole time and nodding, and it's really lovely. People were in the main engaging. Some weren't, but you always get that on the bus. So yeah, it was good today.
Well, I thought it was interesting and different subject, and I really liked how it was on the bus.
It was a nice surprise on the bus journey today.
Would you like to see more of it?
Yeah, makes it a little bit more exciting travelling out.
I enjoyed it because I thought that performance was excellent. She was very southern. I thought she was doing something from, what was it, from Gone with the Wind.